ringde för att kolla om du hade någon plan för Systembolaget. Hade du tänkt gå till Systembolaget? Ja. Det är måndag trots allt. Det är måndag. Ja. Hallå? Hallå? Hej! Ja, det löser du. Ja. Det är måndag trots allt. Kärlek? Nej. Jag vill helst äta Soylent i 2 månader. Nej, jag skojar. Puss. I hope she got that the right way. Oh, chat! Where are you? Why are you over here? Chat. Oh, you're actually aimed well. For the first time in the history of ever, Johannes has put the camera in a good spot. Where's the controller? No, 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 no. There's a mess of cables here. That's okay. Oh boy! Chat, I've been looking forward to this today. We have like the nicest schedule going, me and Siri. For me. She might not fully like it as much. We'll see how it goes. Maybe she'll appreciate it a lot. So we were out all day. And as soon as the preschool accepts our extension from 20 to 40 hours a week, that means she can stream a 40-hour week with a dedicated cameraman / friend. And I get to stream in the evenings for a few hours, and then we can have an actual adult evening together for 2 hours when Ebba's gone to bed. Meaning, I don't know, doing cleaning. That's probably what we'll end up doing. Very exciting stuff. And for me, I get to be outside all day, and then head into the studio in the afternoon for some gaming. Ultimately, I think I'm going to be doing a lot of outdoor streams as well, of course, but as of right now, I want to do the gardening together with Siri. I wouldn't want to garden without her. We can maybe work that out so she feels like she's not missing out. That's unfortunate. How do I fix that? I am a master reverser. So it might not work. We could remove the lamppost, because I'm going to rebuild this site anyway, so the light is going to be... This feels a bit extreme going into the construction menu and removing a lamppost, but I'm going to be removing it anyway. Demolish? Do I want to sell it? $1,000? That's good. Object has been sold. How much do I get for a silage pit? Let's take an empty one. 11,000? That's not bad at all. I did not realize how much money I'm getting back on this investment. That's very good. It also means I can sell my industrial bakery. Oh wait, not my normal bakery, and just have industrial bakeries. And why I want that is space. Space efficiency. Because the footprint is about the same, but the output is 5 times higher on the industrial. We haven't checked the cost or prices for silage. Well, the biogas plant is really good. It's a little longer of a drive, but... And they don't take that much. They don't take this much. Okay, yeah. That's right. So the biogas plant only probably takes 20,000 liters. About a container. And then they stop buying. So unless you have a field right next to it, it's a pain to sell to them. Good day, Kron. Good day. How would you rate Kron? How would you couldn't be there for the entire stream, but you saw some of Siri's stream. How would you rate her as a mechanic? Not as a mechanic. Wait. How would you rate her stream being a mechanic? That's what I want to ask. Because she really seemed like she was having a lot of fun. And, well, now I'm making you biased, am I not? But I hope that it's good content so that she can do it more. Oh, that's good. So, not as good as playing, say, Mass Effects. That's still better. For content. Like, you'd rather watch her play a really good video game. So, what I'm hoping for is that this could be a regular part of her content. And that that she can focus on only playing the really, really good games. Instead of... you know, as a streamer, it's sort of difficult. If you don't have a game you love, it's very difficult to make content. And it seems silly not having a video game you enjoy playing, but it happens from time to time that you run out of games to play. Unless you are like a CSGO streamer that only streams CSGO, then of course it's perhaps not happening. I know some streamers like Wagamama has been streaming Dota 2 for... Well, I bet he has low periods where he's not so keen on playing, like between patches and so. Like after the international, when it's been Dota 2 for like a month every day, then it might be a bit deflating. And he does stream other games as well, but whenever he does, he has like no viewers. So maybe it's sort of deflating having a main game as well. Maybe it's just hard being a streamer. But if her outdoor streams turn out as good as we hope they will, it's definitely another leg to stand on. Okay, so Mass Effect was a bad example for you specifically. But say Dying Light 1. The second Dying Light was, from my understanding, not as good. But I think you found her through Dying Light, or just that it was a really good playthrough. I'm unsure. Encoding overload? My whole computer lagged. Well, we're back, right? So once this load is taken, this is I think it's 150,000 liters left. So I'm gonna take one more trip, and then the last 50k I will save for my cows. can't wait for larger silage pits, so I could just get rid of the conveyor belts. I mean, it's a very, very efficient process, but it would be nicer without them. Oh wait. Oh, now it works. So I worked a little bit. She couldn't read chat very well because the computer was so far away, but I worked on that a little bit. Oh man, what time is it? Damn, it's gonna have to wait another day. Sheesh. Oh, damn. So we are ordering a wireless video transmitter so that she can run around in the entire garden and I can follow her.
Yeehaw!
Hi, Jack. So we are ordering a wireless transmitter, and I was hoping to get that done yesterday, and I was hoping to get that done today, but well, it's 3 o'clock, so I'll do it after stream. But with that wireless transmitter, I'll be able to follow her into the garage and into the house, which is going to be like a game changer. The reason we haven't ordered one before is that we've been uncertain about which model to get. The one we really want to buy unfortunately costs 65,000 Swedish crowns, so like, yeah, $6,500, and that's not happening because we also need this and that and that and that and that and that, so we need to unfortunately buy a cheaper model. And Sir Jack recommended the Holy Land Cosmos for being a professional grade at a much more affordable price. And they have unfortunately stopped selling it, but they have started selling a replacement unit that is gonna take over from that line, which is the C1. And I've been on the fence about it, but there's a lot of fantastic parts about it. For example, the UVC makes it so you don't need a capture card. Now, for the most part, we have a capture card on the computer and it's much better than using UVC. But say you just want to plug it into a laptop. You know, say you want to use a different computer. As long as it got USB-C, you can stream from it wirelessly, which is cool. So it's one less tech thing. So I see that coming in handy. And it's also got good range and good antennas in the box. It's not always true for high-end tech stuff, but with consumer stuff, definitely. It's like if you ever buy a phone, never look at phone reviews again after, because you'll just be sad. Just forget that phones exists for 2 years, and then you get a new one. Yeehaw! Oh, so 8 out of 10 on your scale, Kron, is a very, very good review. You definitely want more of it then. That's nice. Because I said to her when we had dinner, I don't know if the mic was on, nor I don't know if you were there, but we're going to do the same thing to the car. An oil and filter change. So I was like, oh, you'll do the car next then? And she said no. But that's just because she's so keen on gardening. But we'll do. We're gonna do like a lot of services on the car, like replacing bushings and replacing steering arms and replacing brakes. Yeah. So there's gonna be some jobs for sure. And like I said, I think it's amazing because if Siri gets into this, that means we can get all of the toys for the garage. You know, it's kind of like if I explain to Siri why we need an air compressor, she will trust me and we will prioritize getting an air compressor. But now that she's into it, I think it's definitely it's going to be something she wants. Yes, Jack. So the Holy Land C1, is that only 5G? Or is it 2.4 and 5G? I don't know. Unsure. The RG phone seems cool. Like a lot of specs for the money. I mean, it's Asus, right? Doesn't Asus make high performance, affordable stuff? For gamers. I mean, everything is relative, right? Our house have quite thin walls, and now I'm speaking about Jack's comment on 5G and range for the wireless setup. I am worried that it won't go from one end of the house to the other. I am. Like it's doing 1,000 feet, 300 meters line of sight, or it's rated to it, and I've seen some tests where it claims to prove to be working. But I also saw someone in a church setting being able to run it through multiple corridors throughout the church, and that made me quite optimistic, because we are speaking about 1,000 square meter yard. Is that 10 by maybe it's like 15 by 15 meters, something like that, 15 by 20. I don't know how the size it is, but it's nothing. Like from one end to the other of our property, it might be 30 meters. Sure, there's a house in the way, so the signal will have to travel around, over, through. I don't know, I'm not a signal master, but it's not like an easy thing to do. So I have no idea how well it's going to work. Of course you won't do 1,000 feet in a wall, but the question is, will one, the plan is to have the receiver on the cart that we push around in the garden, so it will be like on the outside, unless the cart is in the inside and we goes out. But the hope is that we'll be able to have it inside or outside and be able to travel through the property. That would be the ultimate goal. But if that doesn't work, we can have it like in the house, and from within the house it should last throughout the yard. So then the computer could be in the house, and then we can run around. That would probably be more convenient as well, rather than lugging the computer around. And currently we're running, for comparison on how thick our walls are, we're currently running one antenna for Wi-Fi. Only one Ubiquiti AC Pro. And I don't know if that is set to max power or the lowest power. But I know that we get at least 15 megabits of connection in the phone in the entire yard. So if we go like furthest away in the garden, we get 15 plus megabits up and down. I think, when I did the testing. We can test that again. So if the phone is able to get that kind of data rates going, I imagine the receiver, because basically it's a Wi-Fi connection, right? So it's encoding a 265 H.265 stream and sending it over Wi-Fi, and then receiving it, decoding it, and outputting it as HDMI or UVC. So you don't think it's comparable? Shall I move that silage as well? Or should I keep it there? It's 50k. There's no reason for me to move it twice. So I might as well move it straight into the cow barn when we want it there. Oh yeah, right. I want to use the... Oops. Well, that's pretty fine actually. Let's change tractor. Borrowing my neighbor's parking lot here. There's only one way to find out, and that is to order it and try. But when I've been theory crafting, hoping and wishing, I have been optimistic that it will cover the whole yard. And if it doesn't, we have to move the receiver and have it follow us around. I'm doing the best I can, but I'm kind of stuck here. You can come out and push. Help me out a little bit. So apparently I got a little bit stressed there and I ran into a hedge. Getting out of it was... Oh no, there's a post. That's probably why it's so tricky. there's a fire hydrant there. That's not good. Well, maybe we have to use some force. Honestly, it's quite lucky that the tractor was so easily available. It passed? Nice, Kron. That's always a good feeling. Oh damn, we have to do our inspection within a month. Yeesh. I feel like I could easily forget it. So maybe I should book a time already today. That's not gonna work. If I drive over the fire hydrant. That's not gonna work. If I shove it into my neighbor's yard. So I understand every person that turns off traffic. I understand that. Because traffic is awful. They're so impatient. And they would never reverse to help out. That just doesn't happen. Oh, it did. So are you looking forward to disassembling everything again? Or are you just gonna leave it? I am gonna go over to my tailor and check, because potentially we have our first ever pallet of clothes ready. Dum 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 dum. No. 965 liters. Not yet. Not yet. So let's go back and organize the... Well, let's go down here. Organize the conveyor belts. Pull them out of the pit. There's only some things you can hook up from the front. Weird. Weird. Oh yeah, right. Now that we have so much space, we can put the conveyor belts on this side of the yard. And also we should try to do something about this one. No, it was unintentional? So, in English, Jack, are you trying to say that it may work or it may not work? So I think the antenna is going to be placed on the gimbal, which means that the antenna will most of the time be fairly straight. Probably. The C1 comes with both a paddle style antenna and the mushroom antenna. And my understanding is that the mushroom antenna is good if you have elevation. So say the antenna is in the house will be higher up than ground level, especially when we are in the lower part of the yard. So then the mushroom antenna would be the choice to have on the transmitter, I guess. Now we're just gonna try to fix this. Come on. Boom. Could have worked. Another thing we could do, potentially, I don't know if this is a good or bad idea, but perhaps it would be an idea to put an antenna on the house itself, like a much larger than the included antennas, and then run cable through the house. I mean, the unit itself has SDI. So you can run like HDMI into the TX unit, and then SDI out of the RX unit, and then run SDI. So the antenna, so the RX unit can be close to the roof-mounted antenna on like permanent power, and then just run an SDI cable down to the living room where the computer is, or out to the studio. I don't know where the best place would be to have this, but we have been thinking that both Sirius streaming computer and my streaming computer would be in a server room in the house, just like how Linus Tech Tip does it, because when it's minus 5 degrees outside, in this studio we don't need heating. It goes from like 8 degrees night temperature in here when we're not streaming to 25 degrees, and we have to open the windows, and it's not even summer yet. It can be minus Celsius degrees outside and it's still too hot. So to remove the computer, which is a big source of heat, and put it in the house instead would be nice, because just our monitors, like the TV is 160 watts of heat dissipation, and then the studio lights is another, eventually like 100, 200 watts maybe of studio lights. And that is enough to sort of make this a sauna. True. True, Jack. The perk of having it on the outside could be that it only has to go through one set of walls to go into the house. Whilst if we have the antenna, say we have the cart in the garden and we just want to go and pick some up like mail at the mailbox, then the signal might go like through the entire house. So both exterior, interior, and then exterior walls again. And that might be too much. But ultimately it's just like, maybe we don't have to worry at all. Maybe we just plug it in and it works. They raised the temp by 2 to 4 degrees. I'm talking, in here they're raising the temp from 6 degrees. I think we've seen as cold as 3 degrees Celsius. To 25, 26 degrees. So almost a delta of 20 degrees. If it's colder than that outside, like if it's minus 10, we have to run a radiator as well. It's not enough with just a computer. Another perk would be sound, that you wouldn't have. I don't know if you can you hear it now, if I'm quiet. I can hear it in the mic in my headphones at least. This studio is 15 square meters and her entire streaming setup, I'm gonna guess, draws about 1,000 to maybe 1,200 watts. You hear nothing? That's good. I'm guessing that the monitors and the PC and the camera and the lights and everything is about 1,000 watts. Oh, nice! Now we have lime. Cool. Then we can do some liming. Liming. So the perk of having it in the cart is that like we can move it around. So the disadvantage of having it in the cart I can't find. So currently on the cart we're using a iMac Pro, and that is so bad for very many reasons. For one, it is way too expensive to be running around on the cart and in all the dust and dirt and everything. It's just a very bad idea. And secondly, the screen is only 500 nits brightness, I think. So the screen is not bright enough for daylight viewing. And therefore, it would be great replacing that in the cart with a production monitor that is like 1,000 nits and optimally like a 3,000 nits brightness display would be fantastic, but that is mega expensive. We're talking $10,000. Seems like a proper use for an iMac. It is fantastic indoors, like, but as soon as we took it outside, we really realized how the feet is like it's not stable enough to roll the cart through the yard. It feels scary and very unpleasant. Oh, that's not wide enough. Let's just spray it. So now we're putting on ant spray. We don't want any ants in the field. But like a micro PC. Oh, this is like next step. Okay, we have a LiveView Solo, and that is amazing at handling multiple data connections. So it has like a bonding server in it, and you can run 4. Actually, you can run 6. I got confirmation, but that's a different story. Okay, you can run 6 different connections at the same time. Now in Sweden, we only have 3 unique ISPs. The other ISPs are just borrowing antennas from each other. So there's only 4 really, but 3 relevant ISPs. So we don't need 6. But it's really good at joining the data connections, and it's not just fail-safe. What it does, it say you have a 1 megabyte connection on one, and 2 on the other, and then 1 on the third. That means you have a total of 4 megabytes of connection available. But if you don't have a bonding server, you can't sort of use all of it at the same time. But the LiveView Solo has that. So it divides the data stream. Say you want to go at 6K to Twitch. Well, you only have 4 megabits available, so you can't do 6, but you can do 4 megabits. And then it divides the data stream and sends 1 megabit through one ISP, and 2 megabits through another ISP, and then 1 to a third ISP. And then when you get home and you have Wi-Fi, it can use the Wi-Fi as well, or network cable, and then like put it all together. So it's very good in low bandwidth situations. But what it can't do is alerts and overlays and chat. So imagine having like a super power efficient, that's important, like a microcomputer. Maybe you could even run a Raspberry Pi, to be honest, and then run a Linux version of OBS and not stream from it, because if you're going to stream from a Raspberry Pi, it's going to cry. Even the latest Raspberry Pi is going to cry if you try to run a stream from it. But you don't need to do any encoding. All you need to do is output a preview of the stream through HDMI into the LiveView Solo. And then the LiveView Solo will do the encoding and streaming. So you could probably run something super low power consumption. And that way, the cart could be truly wireless. And if we ever want to do a road trip, say we want to jump in the car and go and get something, we just take that micro PC and run enough battery into the LiveView Solo, which runs on its own battery, and then we can just jump in the car and go. I don't know what a SFF is, but that might be what we want. CPE is what? Or the alerts in the cloud. We still need something to play the alerts, right? Oh, that's not needed. Never mind. What is an SFF? But yeah, the computer doesn't have to be a normal computer. It can definitely be something more suitable for 12 volts. That seems smarter. An ITX computer could work, but I mean, I'm talking microcomputer. Like a Raspberry Pi would be... I think a Raspberry Pi could be powerful enough. I know Vincent tried streaming from a Raspberry Pi and he said he could only do 720. But that is encoding. Yeah, multiple sources and disconnect. That's true. Like if we stream directly out of the LiveView Solo, we don't need any connection in between. Then we just need the wireless, the Holy Land C1 going into the LiveView Solo, and then that goes to the internet, and then from the internet it re-encodes, run OBS, put on overlays, and then sends it to Twitch. Drawback is delay, and Jack said that you have managed to make it like very low delay, but in my testing when I run it, I couldn't get it like below 30 seconds. And 30 seconds is fast. It's like... It's not a big deal. But 5 seconds is better. Ah, small form factor. Yeah. That makes sense. Hi, Fashion. I didn't need to lime all the field, but lime is free. So I was like... instead of checking the map where I needed it, I just threw it on everywhere. Does any of my fields need lime now? No, which means I should empty my spreader. Is that something you know how to do, Jack? And could help us set up with? Because then, technically speaking... So, removing the wireless transmission altogether would save us $1,000. And running an HDMI cable out of the gimbal isn't a big problem, because the gimbal is strong enough to hold the cable. The problem is that the cable currently is running into the computer. So it's a 12-meter long leash from the computer. But if we did the LiveView Solo to the internet and then re-encoded it and send it back through Twitch, if we did it that way, we wouldn't need that wireless transmitter, and we could instead just use the LiveView Solo. You know. Field on the left. This one has like small need, but I will ignore that. So I think lime affects the output of a field, but like these tiny amounts. This is in my field. Like it's not a bother. I missed a bit. Yeah, I did. But like that's who cares? Who cares? I can see it from here. It's fine. The perk of not running the wireless and running the HDMI cable directly into the LiveView Solo, the perk of that is less battery draining tech. I need a GPS. Yeah, that I mean, GPS controlled tractors. I think there's a mod for that, but every mod that I have seen have like big ugly lines that show up. I don't like that. And in Serious Stream, is it a big issue? Is it really a big issue that the stream is 30 seconds delay instead of 5? Is that something that takes away from her content? Ota puta. Hi, buddy. From my testing when I was running the double delay, is that it sucked. But it's a technical limitation we can't get around. But in this case, we would be sacrificing delay to simplify our lives. And then we have to ask ourselves, is it worth simplifying things? Whee! That sign went flying. Is it worth simplifying things at the sacrifice of delay? I also imagine the GIF alerts. Struggling with syncing audio and video. Unless you run it... Of course you could run it so the alerts are being played for the stream separately from being played for us. But Siri will be singing along to alerts at times. And then she will sing out of sync if there's double sound. And that's a whole can of worms right there. But the way it's done right now the alerts are only being played through the speakers of the computer. So if she's far away from the computer, the stream doesn't hear the alerts. That is not a good solution either. In real life, the alerts are super loud. It's just that like a wireless lavalier mic that she's using is very local in how they pick up sound. Yeah, 30 seconds is a long time, Adrian. And that's what I felt. It's hard to keep a conversation going. The difference between 5 and 30 seconds is huge. So I don't know exactly how much delay using the bonding service adds, but I think we're talking about 3 seconds. There is a fast that is a little bit less stable, less buffering, and then there's a normal way with more buffering. And I think that the normal is like 7 seconds and the short is 3 on the bonding service. And without the bonding service we can't have multiple data connections anyway, and that's sort of the whole point. But when we are just home, if we don't leave the house, we don't have to have the bonding turned on. Then we can run just Wi-Fi connection. And if we're gonna go in the car and drive off, we'll turn off the stream, go into settings, turn the bonding on, go live again, and then the server will sort of put a pause screen on, and then as soon as the connection is back, it will go back on, and then you'll add the seconds. That's really good. Our Nginx service is server is Windows based as well. So it's actually running right now. Every time we start our computer, the Nginx server goes on. I have it set to auto start with Windows, and I haven't turned it off. Even if I haven't done IRL streaming for like 2 years. I haven't changed that. Yeah. So a friend of mine, or a viewer of mine called Olympic, he helped me set this up. And he even installed a chatbot. So the chatbot, so in chat you can type like !scene BRB or !scene pause, or !start and stop, which actually starts or stops the stream, like go live and go offline. And that was so convenient. He also set up, like you say, with the remote app for tablet. So you get like big clicky buttons, sort of like a Stream Deck but on a tablet. And I found that less useful because I always have the chat open on my phone anyway when I'm streaming. So to just type in chat instead of like going over to a different place to do it, I found more convenient. So as a two-man show, it would be convenient, like if I had a phone that I could pull up and change the scenes on. But it's more tech than to just use chat, because Siri will always have the chat open to read on her phone. So I worked a little bit. I prepared her a phone holder, like a chesty mount phone holder, and I think she's gonna enjoy it. So when she's out gardening, she can always read chat. That is, so delay is one thing, right? If you have 30 seconds delay, it doesn't feel fluent to have a conversation. But an even larger like killer of the feeling of a live stream is not being able to read chat. And when you're working, you need both hands. And I see so many streamers using wrist-mounted phones to read chat from. But to read chat when you're carrying something, you have to turn your wrists. Plus, the phone is sort of in the way and it's sort of heavy. And it is hard to read from all angles. So what I did for my live streaming, when I did IRL streaming, was to put it on my chest. So if I just look down, or honestly in my peripheral vision, I could see the phone. So if someone sent a message, I would see it in my peripheral vision, and I would just look down a little bit, and I could read chat. That, I love that. I even had it like that when I was playing ice hockey. So I was on the ice, waiting for the puck drop, streaming, and I could read chat at the same time. So I except if you have like goggles with a heads-up display in it, I don't think there's any more convenient way of doing it. And when you have the phone there on your chest jack, just taking up the keyboard and typing scene 1 or scene 2. I named my scenes with numbers to don't have to type so much. I thought that was so convenient. Let's leave the lime. I overfilled lime a little bit. And that's okay. So why it's a problem that I overfilled it is that I can't put it back in the machine, I think. Maybe I can. How much did I use? 40%. Actually, the lime usage is quite high. I'm gonna try a thing. I'm gonna reverse it up on the hill and see if I sell it when I put the pallets up here. Unload. Unload. Oh no, they flew down there. Okay. 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 But we're gonna try to sell them, because I think we have way more, right? Oh, baby, load. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, we have 30,000 liters more, so we can sell those instead of storing them. And then next time, just take a little less, maybe? Oh, I could have filled it with fertilizer. Again, we don't know what we're going to use it for, so it was an unnecessary thing to leave the lime. I don't think I've gotten a single lime contract, but I don't see why the game couldn't give me one. Well, let's return some money to the bank so we get less interest. I kind of want to spend it. I'm like, as soon as I see money on my bank account, I'm like, what am I going to buy now? Nothing is what I'm going to buy. Oh, that doesn't work. We need to get a forklift or something. Something else is needed. Adrian, I have the ambition to have one tractor per implement on this game. That is where we want to get. I have applied for some subsidiaries, and that will definitely speed up the process and give me some money faster. So we are doing organic farming on the farm. So I think our odds are quite good for more subsidiaries. Miss Fashion, how is your tractor addiction? How's your tractor addiction? For I feel you are very knowledgeable. You have really sunken your teeth into this game. But I don't hear you talk about your cravings very much. So maybe you don't have cravings. You more speak about it in the sense... working? It doesn't seem to be working. That's okay. We'll just store them here. The pallets to the side here is fertilizer, and these are lime, so we don't want to mix them up. So I just want to try. Can I? If I do this, that works. I see it decreasing. Maybe it worked all along. Oh. Goes shooting out the back. Now it's working. So I don't know if I'm selling it or if I'm putting it back in the lime production. I'm putting it back. Weird that I can't do that without just tossing everything out in pallets. Two tractors and debt. Yes, Adrian. Oh, no, the feeling. But the struggle is what makes the game fun, isn't it? So I don't know for sure which way is faster to become rich in this game. Taking loans or not taking loans. I imagine both being good options, but I don't know which is like the ultimate way of doing it. So if they have balanced interest well in this game, you should be able to take loans and make more money. The reason I think I am struggling so much is that I have bought the wrong implements and sold it at a loss so many times. I am a tractor thief, that is true. So what I have done is I have sold, and I've bought and sold probably 3 brand new tractors. I have terraformed for 500,000 making this cow barn. No, 300,000. And I have probably spent another 400,000 on terraforming and maybe 50,000 on trees. So I spent a lot of money on beautification, terraforming, and mistakes. Probably 1 million in mistakes. So my loan, sizable as it is, does not reflect the value of my farm very well. I wish you could see like your total inventory, like your total net worth. For I think my total net worth is probably land plus machinery Guessing $7 million. So if I would have taken those $3 million and bought fields for them, I would have had half the map worth of field. And I would have made... What? Maybe... If I made about $1 million this year in crops. I actually don't know. Looking at this... sold products... 100, 200, 230. And then we look at contracts, 230, 270, 340, 420, 430, and then 430, 530, 550, and then we count harvest income, 550. 6, 7, 1.1 million maybe, and then it's another sold. I mean, I have more sold product earlier in the year for sure. How much? Don't really know. Maybe 50,000 a month. So maybe another 300,000 in sold products and contracts. So say $1.5 million. I think that's a fair estimate. $1.5 million. On a $10 million loan. That's not very good, is it? But I've invested all of that in making even more money. So we're getting there. We're getting to a better financial state. Slowly, but it's happening. And if I would have done everything right, I could probably have made twice that. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's about learning and having fun. I've learned from my mistakes. Oh, I've learned so much. For example, I've learned to never sell an implement. And I stand by that. I should wish I never have to sell anything. Because I've been selling it so many times because I'm thinking, I need the money and I'm not going to use this implement right now. But whenever you sell something, and especially if you have to rebuy it later, you're gonna cry. Because you've lost so much money. And eventually, even the small implements, like I have a small roller, and I want a larger roller. When I buy the larger roller, I can have it in the areas where I have most of my farms. But maybe one time of year, there's so many contracts and for myself, fields that needs rolling that I have enough jobs to use both of them at the same time. Or one field might be too small for the large roller. Or maybe I have one roller sitting in my fields in the north and another roller sitting in my fields in the south. Because the map is quite large, and currently I only own the central part of the map. Looking at it this way, I feel quite accomplished. We have quite a few fields left to purchase, of course. And then we have all of these plots of lands. Oh, I'm gonna love getting into forestry. I can't wait to go logging. That's gonna be so fun. But these fields are gonna be super nice to get, because you can use AI on them. And then these fields for self-driving or logging. These fields are quite nice too. So I want to get the entire map, basically. We'll get there. I guess if I count it that way, we can sort of get an estimate of how my net worth is. But that's after depreciation of vehicles. So What's that? 140, 220, 320, 420, 460, 760, 960, 1,100,000, 1,010,000, 1,020,000, and 1.5 to 1.52, 1.5, 1.6, 2.2 million. 2.2 million in land. And then vehicles. Oh, I think we're gonna calculate this. I just realized this is no. We need to calculate this. Woo! 45. I'm only doing the whole thousands. 45, 251, 223, 12, 49, 8, 19, 24, 32, 4, 25, 3, 20, 25, 125. 7, 55, 6, 7, 6, 1, 8, 40, 31, 4. I rounded up there. Whew. Cheating. 5, 2, 3, 67, 2, 5. Oh, damn. 9. I'm gonna count that as 1 because we have rounded so many times. 19, 2, 15, 1, 28, 17, 125. What's one? Oh, the harvester. 5, 56, 24, 4, 3, 15, 4. 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 42, 164, 60. 1.7. And then add... did I say 2.2, right? 2.2 million. So 4 million in assets, plus buildings. How do I count my buildings? So I can do like a rough count from memory. And that's gonna be close enough. Let's jump in my pickup truck. Oh, let's take the fast truck. This silo, I have no idea. I just realized I have no idea how much things cost. Shall I press demolish on everything? Oh, that's not good, is it? That's not good at all. So I think it's this one. Oh my. No, it is only the 2-barrel one. So it's either this one or this one. What's the difference? Size, but other than that. The volume. Well, I guess I can... It's the 400. Oh, this is like a... Whew. Okay. Plus 117. Plus. Silage pits are 25 each, so 100. The rock crusher. Is it a tool? It's a production, right? 25. The barn. Is that a... I think it's a silo, right? 63. This is 700. I don't remember. 722. 770. No, 722. And then it has the additional manure heap. I think that's on the silos. 25. We're at 5 million. These are 60,000 each, and I have 3 of them. 4 really. So 240. Tailors are 90 each, so 180. Are they 100? They are 100. So plus 200. Greenhouses, 10 each, so 20. Chicken coops, 79, and we have 2 of them. So 51, 58. This residential house, 350. I cry when I see that. Plus the shed for the tractors, 55. That is counted. The industrial bakery. Hi people. Industrial bakery. I have 1 normal bakery at 50. And then we have an industrial bakery at 90. We have a dairy at 70. We have a sugar mill at 80. We have a grain mill at 96. Or maybe we have this dairy. I didn't know it was 2 dairies. This one is 70. I think we have the other dairy. Right. Yeah, we have the other dairy. It's 10 cheaper. 70 versus... No, they're both 70. Never mind. Whew. Chat. Have we missed something? I don't think so. I think that is it. Yeah. So, chat, you want to take a guess? And now, sure, the vehicle value is the depreciated vehicle value that we counted. But this is sort of my current net worth excluding the goods that I own. Sort of like the grain and the products like the wool in the spinneries and the clothes in the tailors. So everything I can, every consumable, every sellable. My inventory is not counted, like the cake here. Anyone care to guess what the total ended up being? So Kron, you started with 1.5 mil. Okay, cool. I started with 0, but with a $10 million loan cap. So the amount of money I spent to get my first cake sold was $8.7 million. That's how much I spent to get the equipment needed to harvest everything and get my first output of cake. That was $8.7 million spent. And since then I've borrowed even more, so now we have 9.7 million in loans. But my net worth, and that's with depreciation and with all my failures and with all the terraforming, is 6.3 million. 6.38 million. Which means I have what? How much dead loan do I have? It's a lot. That is $3.5 million. $3.5 million in dead loans. It's hard to farm when you have that much debt that is not tied to assets. And yes, we must factor in that the vehicles have depreciated quite a lot. When I counted my vehicles, it was 1.7 million, I think. And say the depreciation is half of that. So 6.3. Let's add another 1.7 on this. So we had like the new price of the vehicles. Estimate. It's 8 million. So it's still 1.7 million. And I think maybe I've spent $500,000 to $1 million on terraforming. So at least $700,000 have been lost in mistakes or buying tractors and not liking them, buying other tractors and not liking them. So I've had quite a few tractors and disliked them and sold them. I have also done baling with several different balers and found that I didn't like that, and I made silage pits and I didn't like that, and I sold the silage pits and I went back into baling and I didn't like that, and I went back into making silage pits, and now I kind of like that. So yeah. We've probably made around $1 million in mistakes. And that $1 million would have bought me 10 industrial bakeries. And they output $350,000 each a year. So that's $3.5 million in income that I could have had if I didn't do it that way. But this year, we have so much cake because we finally have our first industrial bakery. Another reason why we have so little income compared to our financial situation, like our net value compared to our income is very low. Another reason for that is that we have diversified so extremely. We can harvest about anything and plant just about anything, because cake is a very elaborate process. But I don't only do cake. I also do clothes, which is a very elaborate process that requires a lot of factories and a very expensive harvester that I use for like 2 hours a year. But even more expensive is the fact that I have an X9. Well, how many run hours? 7.2 run hours in 3 years. I don't use this. I use this every 2 years to grow wheat, and it takes me a few hours to harvest. And sure, I have some client jobs where I use it, but it's so overkill. Because I do corn for most of my stuff into silage, and that's this machine's job. So this one does grass for me, and it chops down corn for chaff that I make into silage. So this is my main harvesting tool, but I still need wheat, and I still need some... well, I could use sorghum, actually, instead of sugar beets. No, wait, instead of wheat, but whatever. This one makes flour for me, so I need it. And then this one makes cotton, and then this one makes the silage for my cows. Oh, so yeah. And we're doing organic farming, which means that we need to have a hoe and a weeder. I actually don't own a sprayer of any kind, nor a plow, nor a cultivator, because I'm using this culti-plow. But we're gonna replace this with a ripper from John Deere as soon as we have too much money. But for now, we're gonna keep it. And then I want the cultivator and stuff to do client jobs, but for now it works. Yeah. So we're getting there. We're finding our way through the jungle that is being a farmer, and we're making more and more money. So I've chosen to focus on factories, and currently I have enough fields to supply those factories. By far enough fields. My cow barn is one of those things that I want to maximize the use of its output. Currently I'm selling cheese and chocolate to use up my milk. But I built an industrial bakery this year, so that's gonna suck out a lot of the milk production. But I did stop the cheese factory, so that counteracts it a little bit. I think I'm gonna have enough milk production to maybe build one more industrial bakery like this one. And that means I'm also gonna need more flour and more sugar. So a lot of the fields that I've been growing silage on, like this one, will be reused for growing either cotton or wheat or sugar. Because silage is very poor profit margins when you sell it as silage. What I want to do is to create the energy in a bioenergy plant, but I don't have the investments, the capital needed to buy or build the plant, and therefore I'm gonna focus on getting the most out of the assets I already have, meaning making a lot of cotton for my spinneries and tailors, and making all the products that I need to make another industrial bakery. I definitely did too many processes instead of... Because the cow barn is like $1 million. Installed and ready was over $1 million. And I am underproducing. I'm building stockpiles of milk. And I could be doing so much more cake. The silly part is I only had one bakery. One normal sized bakery. Which is like, I probably need 10 of them. To maximize the use of my fields. And now with the industrial bakery, it makes 5 times more. So maybe 2 industrial bakeries, and potentially get rid of this one for space. But we could also keep it. One thing I really love about the industrial bakery is that it stacks the pallets. The normal bakery doesn't do this. So you can carry 4 pallets at once, which speeds up the process of loading incredibly. So this is a very nice update. Oh, you're making sunflower oil? Nice. So I never want to sell raw product. I think that sucks. Both financially speaking, and it's also not fun for me. I don't enjoy that type of gaming. I love the factories. So I want to go into vineyards and making grape juice and all of that. But I think I'm going to be waiting with that. And the same with cereal. I want to make cereal and stuff like that. So we'll diversify into that. But first, we're going to make sure we are very financially solvent and focus on our core products. We want to make everything. We want to make absolutely everything on this farm. We have much land to acquire. Chat. I'm back. I realized that Siri was home. She was not only home, she was home with my new sweatpants. Yeah, she was home with my new sweatpants. They have zippered pockets. And that's fantastic, because your phone won't fall out. Yes. Things are. What was I doing? I had a job, didn't I? What was that? Giving my cow some straw? Ooh. So, I got both a pair of sweatpants and a pair of not sweatpants. We call them city pants. Something I wear when I would go to the city. Can I do? Wait. Wait. Can I start loading straw from here? Huh. Just straight through the wall is good enough. I mean, I guess you can open this door if you want to be more realistic about it. Oh. Oh, I need to close it again. It's winter, it will get cold in the barn otherwise. I just had a thought. Ooh. Can I deliver straw that isn't in bales directly into the cow barn? Instead of using the bale chopper. This is gonna be a game changer if it works. Oops. Seems to work. It didn't say no, you know. But maybe it's easier if I open this door and go through that. Unfortunately, my wheel loader has way too wide of a silage scoop. And then this one is only 1,000 liters. And the bale is 6. So it's a lot more trips. I haven't gotten the manual attachment mod. I think I would enjoy it. But I'm unsure. Wait, let's check how much straw it has. 33,500 liters. 35. 35.5. Yeah, 36.5. It works. That means we can probably just put a conveyor belt here, right? Now we're talking. Okay, wait. Let me experiment. Give me my fast track. Maybe you can do it in a trailer? Yup. I mean, we can try that as well. Because that's also very easy. A good idea, Adrian. Good idea. Because, I mean, honestly, a conveyor belt is kind of a mess. And I would probably need to use 2 conveyor belts, and then the feeding robot would drive into it, and I would limit how... it would limit me in driving past here. There we go. That's 3,000 liters. That should be enough. Oh, this is a tight fit in the door here. Yeah. Now that's a game changer. That means I never have to make the bales. I thought I would have to make bales in order to use the chopper. The chopper is just a nice way if you have the bales already. That is so pleasant of a find. Oh yeah, the trailer is like, it's a game changer. For sure. Now it's full. I'm not trying to put 22,000 liters in there. But I thought I could see how much it fits in the barn, because I've taken out quite a few liters of hay. So a little bit goes in there, I think. Yeah, an entire trailer worth. Kind of nice getting this mess cleaned up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build a second barn right where I'm standing, like sort of where the pile is. So there's 2 barns and you can drive straight through both of them at the same time. So they're perfectly aligned. That is my goal here. And I don't think I'm going to be needing more than 1,000,000 liters. 1,000,000 liters is probably going to be sufficient. Is this not how you pick up things from your pile? Drive around in it like it's a big sandbox? Oh, I did not expect to have that much space. Oh yeah, we only have 399 liters of hay. Is that going to be enough for next year? Or am I going to have to... I mean, I have winter grass. I can make it off the winter grass. I don't have to plant grass. That's true. So another 30,000 liters can fit, or 20 something, but a full trailer basically. I want to try it, Kron. Oh yeah, we have much straw. Very much. Oops. Yeah, we made it around. We have a little bit too much straw. So I collected it from every mission I was doing, plus my own fields. And I didn't sell any of it. I think next time I'm gonna sell more. But it's nice having one loft with hay and one loft with straw. No more space. Woo! Forgot I was going to turn in here. This is new, like this is the second stream when I moved all my implements over here. So it's very new to me. And I still behave like I've forgotten it. What have I bought? No, I actually spend the time returning as much as I can to the bank to lower my interest. So I actually have 230,000 available to me to borrow. But I'm not gonna spend that money. Well, I could do the math actually. So I need 30,000 a month to pay my interest. So January, February, March, April. And then I'll sell my cake and a lot of fabric. So it's hard to estimate if that is going to be enough. But I probably need at least 4 months worth. Because springtime there's a lot of contracts. Probably more than 30k a month in contracts springtime. So I need at least 120,000 in a buffer. Which is why I want to wait until I sell the cake. And the cake had a... It looked optimistic. No, never mind. The gasp was unnecessary. Sorry for that. One of the tailors shall have outputted the first pallet of clothes. Oh, I've never seen a pallet of clothes in this game. We can go and see it now. The other one hasn't finished yet, but this one, since it's only 6 liters of outgoing product, it is outside of the factory. So, clothes. I don't think it's time to sell it yet, nor cake. Cake is going up, 6,000. Yeah. But I'm hoping that in February it will be even higher. How are you doing today, Cersei? Clothes. 12,000. So no clothes selling. That is what I'm waiting for. I'm hoping that it will be good in sort of March, April, May, before summer, at least. So we can sell it and have that money through the harvesting season. Before we start getting money again in... Well, honestly, maybe we won't make that much money in harvesting season. I'll still grow some silage. We'll still do that. But not as much as this year. So then it's like the clothes in April. And then we have cake that we sell in fall and winter. So that's sort of when we will be making our money. And I think next year, it's going to be much, much better, financially speaking. I think next year we're going to make big bank. Sure, we'll probably reinvest everything. but we'll make a lot of money to reinvest. So we can grow. We went to the shop for food. Nice. So I don't know when I'm gonna be returning my loans. Like, I don't know when my... when I'll feel good about giving the bank the money back. I think it could be when I have around 10 million in yearly input. But I think even then, investing $10 million, I'll most likely make more than 300,000. So I think, generally speaking, never returning the loans is more profitable than ever doing it. As long as you make something good with the money. Okay. Fast track. Let's go and look at the clothes. Oops. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Dum dum. Dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Ta-da! My first ever pallet of clothes. Oh, the accomplishment. Sense for fashion. I want to go and sell it. It only weighs 400 kilos. Huh. So you can grab quite a few pallets at the same time. 10 of them in the wheel loader. Easily. 10 of them in the wheel loader. Maybe more reasonably like 2 of them at a time. With a forklift. Maybe 3. So now we're waiting for the prices to go up, so we can sell our first pile. Oh my god, the trees have grown! Chat! Chat, look at the trees! My oak trees! Oh, it's glorious. Oh my, it's so glorious. Chat, I am so happy about this. Oh, it frames the field so well. And imagine bushes and smaller trees in between. Oof. I don't think these is fully grown yet. None of these are fully grown yet, right? So I don't know how you could, if you can see. Ooh. Look at my trees! Oh my lord. Look at my trees! Oh, she wasn't. Oh wait, she's stressed because of Ebba. Chat, because it's Monday, Siri brought me a pear cider. Ooh. Now this is the life. Watching my trees grow and having a cider. Oh. This is everything I ever imagined it being. It'd make it feel like a cozy, closed off vibe. And now looking at the distance, I'm gonna love. We're gonna put trees here as well on the low ground, so they're gonna cover the city. When you are on this energy production site, you're gonna feel roomy, homey.
Jack Joe 3 subscribes. 58 months. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Jack. Are you back? Oh, my trees are glorious. Ba-dum bum ba-da 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 bam. Oh, have these trees grown as well? Go and check them. We have to go and check. Jack, tier 3, 58 months. I think you've been tier 3 since the start. That is by far my longest sub. Jack was my first subscriber when I got partnered. And yeah, 58 months as tier 3. Thank you. These trees have not yet sprouted or popped out or grown. They're still a little stick. A little stick. But soon. Oh, that's so nice. We're gonna plant some flowers on the hillside. Some meadow flowers. And then there's gonna be a giant, sort of this tall. I think the energy production plant is not as tall as the silos, but it's one step up. So there's gonna be a silo building about there to there. Maybe here. Somewhere here. Over to the yellow machine. Above the height of the silos. Good evening, Surfer. That is exciting stuff. It is. Let's not diversify even more fashion, but I will say this. When we have too much money, buying these fields here and getting into forestry, oh, I want it. I want it so bad. This would be my problem if I had a real farm. That I would want to do too many different things and I would, yeah, financially speaking, be terrible at it. Green wall of plants to head a power plant. I think it will be glorious and beautiful. I think it's gonna be fantastic. I will do it though, in fashion. That's good money, Jack. Christmas tree farmer. Speaking of fashion, wasn't the box didn't have... Yeah. Is that why you got into cotton, Miss Fashion? Because it's your clothes. Yeah, that's true fashion. That is true. We complete each other so well as a couple, and I am truly blessed. Earlier today in her stream, she was refueling the excavator in real life, refueling an excavator, and the fuel cans we have are $10 fuel cans, and she struggled putting the lid on, and she was basically screaming, so our neighbors looked over how poor quality they are, and she said, I'm never allowed to buy shitty tools. She'll just have to work harder and make it work. If we need a tool, it needs to be a good quality tool. No more shitty tools. And I'm like, am I in heaven? So the reason I bought the cheap jerry cans is I couldn't justify spending money on expensive jerry cans for gardening. But she's like, no, buy the expensive stuff. Well, not expensive necessarily, but good quality stuff that lasts. Oh, she's so great. I think it was Surfer who said that most men struggle to get budget out of the household to buy I call them toys. Tools. Same thing. To buy tools. I got a throne as well, indeed. Yeah. Was the house viewing still going on when she screamed? No, it wasn't. Oh, it was such a... Okay, there's good and bad things about the house viewings that I just have to say. I don't know, but the dogs that are next door to the house being sold was quiet the entire time. Now, that makes me wonder. Did they pick the house viewing because the dogs normally are quiet at 10:30 in the morning? Or did they pay off the owner of the dogs to take them away for the house viewing? Why weren't the dogs barking in the house viewing? If I walk past on the street, the dogs always bark. And all of that amount of people walking around in the yard, talking about the house, driving back and forth in and out and coming and going, surely must have excited the dogs enough to bark. Nothing for the entire house viewing. Are the sellers incredibly lucky that the dogs just didn't care? Or have they paid off or kindly asked? They've lived here for 6 years. They might have a good relationship with the neighbor who has the dogs. So maybe they asked kindly. But if they asked kindly to hide the fact that the neighbor has dogs, and the neighbor agreed to it, the neighbor is shooting himself in the foot because the people buying the house might not know of it and become pissed as fuck when they can't sleep at night because the dogs are barking. And that might make the relationship with the neighbor who has the dogs horrible. And if I tell them I have nothing to gain from it, I have nothing to gain from it. Honestly, if I tell them and they don't buy the house, the people at the house viewing, that will cost my now neighbor money. But whoever ends up buying the house is much more likely to have dogs themselves. So the only thing that will happen is perhaps that there will be even more dogs barking to each other. So I might make the problem worse for myself. Is a dog really a negative in a house selling? Well, there's a difference, fashion. No, I would say. But these are two hunting dogs that have the whole yard running around all day. So they have 2 cages with the house in. And then he has enclosed this whole yard. And they are running free in the yard all day. They are not in the house. And they are hunting dogs. And across the village, there are 2 or 3 more hunting dogs that's also outside in cages. And they talk to each other through the forest. Bark, bark. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark. Bark, 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 bark. Bark, bark. And if the other dogs across the yard is quiet, they sometimes just talk to each other, the 2 dogs. So there's 2 dogs over there and 2 or 3 dogs over there, and they bark, 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 bark. We don't hear it at all inside. Is it the game? I think there's dog barking in the game. In the studio you can hear it. I don't think the stream hears it. But we couldn't have the door, like if we had a big door on the studio, it couldn't really be open because the stream would be affected by it, at least with this microphone. The dogs have been barking when Sarah's doing her outdoor streaming, and I haven't seen a single comment about barking dogs. So with the lavalier mics, I'm not feeling it's an issue, which is so good. And we live 1, 2, 3 houses away. But the house being sold is the next door house. So it's right next to it. Is it a problem? I don't know. I like the sound of birds and wind. So to me it's a negative. But a lot of people don't care that much. And if you're inside the house, maybe over there you'll hear it. I know our next door neighbor that lives 1 house closer to him than us, that has the dogs. Our next door neighbor, she said that she gets woken up sometimes. But I sleep with earbuds, so I don't get woken up by anything. So is it a problem? No, not really. And is it something I should, morally speaking, do? Like, shall I inform the potential buyers, our potential new neighbors? Shall I inform them that there's dogs? No. Fuck no. That is very rude towards the sellers. And I have nothing to gain from it. I think there's like a moral feeling within me that I want to make them aware, because would we have bought this house if we knew about the dog situation? Would we have moved to this village if we knew about the dog situation? For example, to explain the problem, when I take Ebbe for a walk in the stroller as he's trying to fall asleep, and we go just around the block and down the gravel road towards his preschool, it's a very scenic footpath. We walk by the other yard with dogs, and they get excited and say hi. That wakes Ebbe up. Is that the end of the world? No, it means I have to walk another block before he falls asleep. It means getting him to fall asleep is 10 minutes more difficult. But perhaps it would have been one of those things that made us not buy the house. And when we were here, we were only here once, to be fair. The dogs were absolutely quiet. It was like 6 o'clock. The owner might be home and they don't bark then. So, I don't know. We just didn't know. We have never spoken to the seller. We knew when we moved in, like day 2, we spoke to our next door neighbor, and they told us that they were selling in a while, because we asked about like the community, who lives here, have they lived there long, anyone with kids, etc. And they said that that they are, that they are selling springtime. Surfer, if I was a seller, I think I would try to make it. But if I'm to sort of, I think I would try to bribe the dog owner. But could I live with it? And more importantly, if I don't have a good relationship with the person I'm trying to bribe, they might feel, well, fuck you, and then instead be extra loud with their dogs. So it's like, there's no guarantees for anything. And ultimately, I think there's always the people that don't care about the dogs. So there's always someone who's gonna buy it. So I think I would be greedy like that, Surfer. I think I would be... I think I perhaps would be mean to the buyers and not disclose it. But at the same time, I don't believe in karma, but I believe in bad karma in the sense that if I do something I don't believe in, if I do something I know that is mean, I will carry the pain of doing that deed much longer than I want to. If I ever flip someone off in traffic, or I behave in a way to make anyone else's life worse, sort of, if someone is driving behind me way too close and it creates like a scary situation, they're on my bumper, because I'm the kind of person who drives slightly below the speed limit, so I quite often have someone very close in the rear, and I used to slow down more and more and more. I didn't do brake checks because I believed them to be dangerous, but I definitely slowed down more. So if I was driving 80 kilometers an hour on a 90 road and someone drove that close, I would lower to 60. And that made that person's day so incredibly stressful. They started honking, flashing their high beams, driving zigzag, and I sort of laughed at it. I was like, But what I realized was that I create pain for myself. That hatred towards the person doing wrong behind me. Because, I mean, driving that close isn't safe. It's putting me and my family at risk for an accident. I realized that for me, it's much healthier to stop at the closest possible bus stop or rest stop along the road and let them pass. If there's no good opportunity for people to pass me, and I don't want to drive as fast as they do, it's much nicer, and I feel so good about it, to just pull over and let them pass. That is the exact same thing about hiding. Like, it's so similar to hiding the fact that our neighbor have dogs and trying to bribe them. It will make me feel dirty in a way, and it will cost me more pain, and I don't think the extra money we potentially could get from a seller not knowing would leave me a sour taste in the mouth, and it wouldn't be something I enjoy doing. I have had several times people calling me from the car behind. You know, they look up the owner of the car, they look up the phone number, and they call to yell at you. To yell at you for driving slowly. I've had a trucker that I remember very well. I was driving my mother's car, and my mother get a phone call from a trucker that is screaming his ass off. That means that person who's driving a semi-truck this close to my bumper, figuratively speaking, is also fiddling on his phone, going online, looking up the registration number as he's driving a semi-truck, finding out who owns it, looking up the number, and calling the person as he's driving the semi-truck. These are the kind of people that are on the roads. No wonder accidents happen. You can imagine my mother's surprise when she answers and there's this man screaming in her ear. You fucking idiot! And she's like, hello, I'm in a meeting? Who's calling? Hello? I'm sitting still, I'm not driving. Yeah, you get it. Like, it was... And then she calls me and like, there was this trucker calling me, screaming. Yeah, that was... it was a very fun story. I enjoyed it very much. But it does leave me feeling much, much better doing everything I can to let them pass. Now, I like to drive slower than the speed limit. But what I do is, if I have someone coming up behind me, is now I actually meet the speed limit requirements. But if that person still is up my ass, meaning that the person wants to speed, like go way over the limit, I slow down again. Because ultimately the safety is the most important, and I'd rather have someone be up my ass driving slowly than driving at the speed limit. So I do still do it until I have an opportunity to turn off to a safe parking spot. Which doesn't always happen. Real life farm sim? Yeah, spending all your time just driving on the road to mess with people. Nah, I am not about that. I am not about causing suffering even to my enemies. So yesterday there was another streamer, brand new streamer, like a one viewer streamer, and he was pushing mental health, and I find that to be an incredibly important topic. And what he was doing was gracious. I will get to that. So he was posting a copy paste to bunch of streamers saying, hey, I'm I just want to quickly say that I'm here for anyone who's struggling from mental health, and I would love to have a chat with you if you have any sort of mental problems. I know this is self-promotion, and I'm sorry for it. That was sort of what he said in a copy-paste. And I went over to him after my stream was over, and I chatted with him. And my angle in chatting with him was to tell him how self-promotion is being received. And he said over and over again, whenever I came with an argument, he was like, I'm not doing this for profit, I'm not doing this for fame. If I can make one person that is truly depressed, that wants to kill themselves, not do it, I'm saving a life, and that is what I want. I want to be there, I want to help people, I want to give them someone to talk to. I don't care about the money, I don't care about the fame. Now, 100 times over, I love what he's doing. I love that he's being there for people. Like, just out there. Spending his time being a friend to someone in need. So I don't think you have to be a therapist to be a friend. And I think most people with depression can be helped by a friend. Now, I don't think a live stream is an appropriate place for that, unless you are a professional psychiatrist, because then you can give general advice. Of course, you can share your stories, and then maybe someone gets a thought. But what he should be doing is doing DMs, like having a Discord, gathering people, doing DMs, talking, being connecting with people on an individual level, because it's very hard for people with depression to open up in a live stream where everyone sees what you're typing. It's very scary, and I don't think it's maximum usefulness of his time. But what I said to him, and what he failed to understand, is that his act of self-promotion, even if he has no monetary goals with doing it, is hurting people. And I used the argument, is it okay to take one life to save another? And he's like, no, it's not. And then I explained to him, well, if you post a self-promotion message in my stream, my chatters will be upset with you. Because on Twitch, it's not polite. It's frowned upon on Twitch to do self-promotion. Chat, do you agree? So a good example is Gruen Dragon. He was like, oh no, you banned him. Oh, I wanted to troll him. And I bet there's other viewers in chat who see someone self-promoting and he's like, this idiot self-promoting to my streamer? Fuck you, self-promoting asshole. So what he is doing is making some people's day worse in an attempt to make others' day better. So we were having a good time, and then he says that, and it takes away from the content. It pulls you out of what you're doing. Like, I am here trying to be a friend to you, trying to entertain you with good content, but him doing self-promotion makes me upset and sort of like, oh, this is not good, because I know all of these factors that follows from it. Like my chat, 5-10 messages about his self-promotion. I want to talk 5-10 messages about the fun entertainment we're doing, or I want to talk 5-10 messages about the story I'm telling. This is my stream, my home, and if you choose to be here, it's because you want to watch this, not something else. It would be like a Discovery Channel doing an advertisement on like Eurosport, like, hey, come and watch this. I mean, sure, they're owned by the same company, so it's like whatever, but it's distracting from the content you're consuming, and the content you're consuming might make your day better. So in a sense, he's implying that I cannot be good for you and your mental health, and he's also implying that he's doing no harm in doing it because you don't have any monetary goal with it. He's not doing it to make money. He's doing it to help someone. But in the process, he's also making someone upset. Upset that he's doing self-promotion. And he couldn't understand that. He heard me, and I tried my absolute best at explaining to him. And he's like, okay, well, you seem to have a lot of anger, he said to me. So what's going on in your life? Like, can I talk to you and make your day better? And I tried to explain to him in so many ways that I'm doing this to make his product better. Because instead of having people coming over saying, hey, you're an asshole for doing self-promotion, or instead of rallying up my chat and other streamers' chats with his self-promotion, he could be a kind, friendly individual on the internet. He has a great voice. He stayed calm, even though I hated on him. Like, I came out kind of strong out the gate, to be fair. I was civil, but borderline rude. And now I'm being kind to myself here, as I'm explaining myself. And he handled it so well. He kept face. He didn't rage. He was explaining it from his point of view. So I thought he was an amazing streamer with huge potential. He started streaming a few days ago. He have huge potential. And I wanted to explain to him how it's frowned upon on Twitch and it's not the way to grow. And he had the argument, well, how am I to have a voice to help people if I don't do this? And I get that. To get off the ground and get a community, it's incredibly difficult and it takes so much time. And all he wants is to help. And I get that. But is it really okay to help one person by making it worse for someone else? So I feel no. And he agreed to that argument when it was, is it okay to take one life to save another? He said no. So is it okay to make 100 people pissed in order to get the opportunity to help one individual? Now, that is a very difficult, and it's like you can't quantify an answer to that because you don't have the variables. But if you ask me, is it okay to save one person that is about to take their life? And in order to do that, you have to piss off 1,000 people? 10,000 people? To piss them off for a day? Yeah. But where do we draw the line? Is it okay to piss off 10 million people for one day in order to save one life? How much is one life worth? And where I'm going with this is that I am not qualified to make that choice. And I don't think anyone is. And therefore I don't think he was doing a righteous thing, making some people upset to potentially help others. This is true. Cersei says most streamers have a self-promotion Discord channel. He can post there. Absolutely. He could act as not a streamer and join every single Discord there is and say, hi, I just want to put this out there. I want to be here for people that struggle from mental illnesses. I have myself, because he said that several times, that he has struggled himself. And I want to be here just for you to chat. Because I think he can reach to people just as well through chat as he does on a live stream. He can't have multiple conversations in a live stream. It's one there, one there, one there. He can do it so much better. So he thought I had that argument. Adrian Brown says, no matter how good the intent is, he's stepping on your territory. He thought I had that argument, and I don't. I don't mind him stepping on my territory. What I mind, and this I tried to explain to him, is that his action makes people upset. He makes the chat behave like warriors defending the streamer from the nasty, self-promoting asshole. That means he's creating rage within my community. That is what I mind. Not that he's potentially taking viewers from me. Because I believe that the best streamer will have the most viewers. And you get what you deserve. If I have 5 viewers, I don't deserve more. If I have 10, I don't deserve more. If I have 100, that is what I deserve. So I am not worried that someone will come in and steal my viewers. I am not. But he didn't buy that. US government values a life to $10 million, Kron says. I don't know about that. So Cersei, I don't think a live stream is the right thing to do. Like a group chat, right? If you take 10 individuals that struggle from mental illnesses, and you put them together in a group, and you talk to everyone, that can be truly helpful. But when you invite everyone, the risk of you creating a shit show is unheard of. It's just it's like it will become a truly awful place where you struggle to help people. Compare that to reaching out individually, and as I think it was you, Cersei, who said joining other streamers' Discord communities and just trying to be a very kind and helpful person. He might not have monetary goals, but I fear that the devil of success will make anybody have a monetary drive. I think that he now does it as a hobby and trying to be a savior of others. But give him 1,000 viewers and a following, and the devil's horns will grow out, even in the best of us. I feel cynical for saying so, but I do not believe that a human can be given everything without hard work. For I think everyone will become an asshole if they're just given everything for free. Exactly what Adrian Brown says. It's the viewers' community, and we hold it dearly. So an invasive force would often be met negatively. That is my argument. That is what I want him to understand. That he's causing pain as he's trying to help people. And that is not... what's the word? Ethical. That is not ethical. This is true as well. A lot of people go to Twitch to get away from... a lot of people goes to entertainment to get away from their problems. So just saying it in chat, like, hey, anyone depressed, come and talk. It might make the depressed people actually feel more depressed. It removes the helpful bit about spending time on a social media like Twitch. Interacting, having a good time, hiding from your problems. Now, I think I am not a therapist. We get that out there. But I think we do a lot of deep talks on this stream. I think we share a lot of problems, and I think we talk a lot about our growing pains as a human being. I remember a stream just a week ago or two where many in chat opened up and talked about their growth as an individual. And that is so helpful to be able to say that, hey, I used to have this issue. I used to be this problem. I used to be mean to people. I used to be a know-it-all. I used to be selfish. I used to be unkind. That shows a lot of growth, and it gives you motivation to keep getting better. So I think we are doing a lot for this community together. Not just me, like everyone in chat is a friend to the others. I think we have a bunch of trolls and we have a bunch of new people, but the regulars truly care about the other regulars, and that is what makes a community. So I think we do a lot for mental health, and definitely an appropriate amount that I can be proud of. We can't make this show all about talking about mental health, because it wouldn't entertain, and it would take away the healing effect it has to some, and also just for the humor and for the entertainment. Some people are truly happy and they still watch the stream. You know, it's like you can do that. You don't have to be depressed to be on Twitch. So I don't think there's more depressed people on Twitch than in real life. I think it's like 1 in 4 that suffers from a mental illness in society today. I think it's like 1 in 4 that ever does it. They don't have to be like constantly depressed. I don't think it's 1 in 4 at any given time. I think it's 1 in 4 that has suffered from a mental illness. That's a lot. Yes, Surfer. Yes, you are. And what's so fantastic, I feel, is how Sirius community over the years have embraced me, and how our communities has grown together. Mine was very small. But my community has also become her community, and vice versa. And I think that adds so much value to our lives. Imagine if we were completely different people doing completely different things, and there was no way a person would enjoy watching my content and her content. It would pull us apart, me and Siri. But the fact that we have so many viewers in common and such a community that's intertwined, it helps a lot in our daily life. I think it's lovely. And I love to hear that, Surfer. Okay, Kiron. I don't know what time it is, but it's not gonna be like a super late stream, but I'll do a bit more. Then I'm gonna test out our TMP delays. So tomorrow we're gonna do like an excavator stream, and it would be so convenient being able to run around the garden, which means I have to set up a wireless audio device for alerts. Basically our in-ear monitors, wireless in-ear monitors hooked up to a Bluetooth speaker, right? That's it. And then I'm also gonna test to see if the RTMP server is still active and if I can connect to it. And then tomorrow we can stream wirelessly when Siri is doing excavation. She's gonna drive the excavator tomorrow for her first time. I tried to convince her so many times to try, but she was never into it. And now she's going to. I don't know how much of a rundown we're gonna do. Are we gonna just send her out digging without explaining what the levers do? Maybe for safety we should teach her a little bit. So she doesn't tip over. It would be so annoying. It would be so annoying if she tipped over. Because like, how do we fix that? Oh, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. She's not going to do... She's going to do fine. She's going to do fine. Yeah. Whew. Okay, I've been standing around doing nothing for so long that I've forgotten what I'm doing. No way! Oh! No. It's on sale. But, shall I buy it? Look, fashion. Oh! Shall I buy it? I mean, it's 45% off. It's a sign from the gods of farming that I need to invest. Right? Right? I can't let this opportunity go. So I see some comments about Siri driving the excavator. Cersei says, depends on how much damage you want done. Yeah, that's true. And yes, proper training is probably a good idea. And we shall not ask her to refuel it again. I'm like, oh, I told her that it's so easy. And she said it too, like, you told me, and I still did it. That's how easy it is. Like, even if you know that it's easy to happen, yeah. Yep. Very easy to make that mistake. I've done it. I've done it more times than I can count. I did it the last time I fueled an excavator. It wasn't our excavator, it was a rented excavator last weekend. I overfilled it. Like, I'm telling you, chat. I did what Siri did, I did that last week. Not as severely, yeah. Not nearly as severely as Siri did. I haven't seen the clip yet, but I look forward to seeing it after stream. Because from the mess, it looked like it was quite a big splash. Do we need it, is the question. Yes, we do. We do not own a plow. I cannot do plowing missions because we do not own a plow. More than that, we are using a culti-plow as of now, and that tears up more stones than a plow does. Because a culti-plow counts as a shallow cultivator, and that pulls up rocks. Plus it's a plow, which pulls up rocks, so you get way more rocks out of the ground. Good and bad. Good and bad. Since we can sell the lime. Or we can use the stone crusher to get lime and then sell the lime. So rocks is an asset. But we can't do plowing contracts. And this is a fantastic plow. I think we're going to need to spend some cash and get it. This is a awesome cultivator. I think this is the best cultivator in the game. I guess since it's a shallow cultivator, it might not be the best. But it's a really, really good cultivator. Unfortunately, this is the modded one that allows field creation with the cultivator. So I don't want to own this, because this makes everything a field. You will mess things up. So 32,000 plus loans. So 60,000 we shall put on our account. How many hours does it have? 12 hours. The wear? No idea. We can guess it's only 14 months, so it's been used a lot in those 14 months. That's what, one season, 12 hours. That's not bad. Let's buy it. Achievement unlocked, vehicle fleet. I apparently went over some threshold, giving me an accomplishment. Or might be because I've never had a plow. But I don't have a cultivator either, so maybe not that. Where's probably 40%? They're empty, babe, moments. You mean my bank account? What do you mean, Jackie? Oh, there she is. Look at her. Whoo! Ooh, that's big. I mean, compare that to the Colty plow. This is huge. Wow. Nice, let's get it home. I think we're gonna... oh, there's the tractor. We're gonna drop it in on the service and see how much the service costs. To see how much we actually spent on buying it, saved on buying it used. Yeah, 400 horsepower, it says. The requirements are. Repair $1,000, which means that the total purchasing price was, I think I spent 31,000, right? Money. New tools. 31,000. Let's do math. Let's do math for repainting. 31,884 plus. If I just do the service, it's 1178. And what does a new one cost? $58. So serviced, purchasing price of the used item plus service, 33,062. And the new price, 58,000. That's a good deal. And if we add painting to it, which is another 3,600, we're paying $36,738 for a freshly serviced, freshly painted Ripper that costs 58,000 new. So we're saving 22,050, something like that. Now I am not going to repaint it, but I'm going to repair it. Hi, Killstrom. Whoa! That's okay. Oh, damn. This is big. Oh, jeez. So I mean, this is perfectly, horsepower-wise, this should be perfectly suited for the RX-8. But I don't think the RX-8 is going to be very happy up the hills on my hilly fields with this tool. We could give it a rip, actually. Since we have last year's cotton in the ground that we could cultivate, or plow, I mean. It's a plow, not a cultivator. Let's try it with the RX-8 to see how it feels. Just, I mean, John Deere with John Deere feels good, right? So I have the 410 horsepower model of the RX-8. And let's just double check here on this implement. But I think it said... 400 horsepower. Am I blind? Planter, seeder, roller, subsoilers, plows. There we go. 410. Yeah, so it's like perfectly suited for this. At least on the paper. So let's just do a test plow. This is not necessarily necessary, because I have a cultivating planter and I'm gonna put corn here. Then again, I might do sugar beets here, right? And that's cedar? Is it planter? Oh, I keep forgetting. Yeah, it's the planter. Do I have flour? I need more flour. What farmers am I watching on YouTube? Only Americans. Only Americans. So I go back and forth. I don't have any farmers I watch frequently. It's just a video here and there. Let's lower it. So I'm very curious about what kind of field state it leaves and how it looks afterwards. Let's go and check the depth and oh yeah, look at that. So we discussed if it leaves it cultivated or not. So what's the field state? Does it have a weed? It does not have weed. Is it fertilized? Fully. That's good. Does it need plowing? It does not. It doesn't need lime. Does it need rolling? It does. It's mulched. It has stones. Here we go. It is cultivated. To me, that means this shouldn't work in a field where the contract says to plow it. Because I imagine they need the field state plowed. And if you look at it, now we can't zoom more, but you see that there's a small bit just behind the machine that is plowed. But then if you look at the rest, it's cultivated. And why that is that this is the plowing part. It has deep tines. Let's lift it out of the ground. And go to the other side. So this bit, these are discs that goes down in the soil and kills all of the. It cuts up the trash. So the stalks of the plants here, the cotton plants, right? That is what's called trash. And these chop that up in small bits and pieces. So there's 2 rows of discs. And they're wavered. So they're like wavy back and forth. To sort of, yeah, move and chop and disturb the soil. That is the job of this part. And then you have the second part of the machine, which is these tines with the heads on them. That are like an arrow. Like a shoe. And they go down in the soil and stirs everything around, and that would be the plow action, like the subsoiler, which is a type of plow. It only has this, and a classical plow that you might think of when you hear the word plow. They have scoops, sort of digging and folding at the same time. Plows. So this I would call a classical plow. It has scoops that shovel into the ground and fold it over. So you take what is 20 centimeters below surface and put that on top. And it also works in the sense that if you have, say, grass on a field, if you plow it, you will also cover that grass and then you can cultivate it and make a seed bed of it. But these don't really do that. These more stir up the soil and brings nutrients to the top and creates a very airy field. It removes rocks or brings rocks to the surface. And some farmers believe in that sort of farming, and other people only cultivates because they don't want to disturb the soil and the mycelium networks and killing the worms. I mean, if you plow a field, you kill almost all of the worms. So it's something you don't want to do very often. Definitely not every year. But some farmers do anyway. Like this is a ripper. It's like super fast and convenient of a tool. You get rid of all the trash, all the residue from your previous crop. You aerate, puts air down in the soil and stirs everything around. And then you have the final bit here, which works as a cultivator. So you have these discs that chops up all the lumps that have been left over from the original, like initial cutting of the trash. And then you stir it up with these tines that goes into the ground. And then the job of these discs are to chop off all the lumps and make them into smaller lumps. So these are big because they travel very fast and they aggressively cut off all the stalks and trash. But these are small to be able to be way more of them. So they cut up the lumps of the soil. And then you have these baskets. And they go over like a rolling pin on the field. Sometimes they're like a barbecue grill. These seem to be slatted. And different schools. But this also flattens, levels, and smoothen out the field. So you get this cultivated seedbed. Which is very nice. You plant straight into this, no worries. I mean, you have to pick the rocks. Which means, well, I don't really get why you have this tool. Because you will have to disturb the surface anyway. Maybe if you roll it, you can push these rocks down. I mean, they're red. So you shouldn't, like in this game, technically you shouldn't be able to because it's red rocks. We can bring out the roller and try it for fun. So fashion, I did buy it. It came up on sale for 31,000. After service, I paid 32.5 for a fully serviced 14-month, 7.2 hours. And the new price is 58,000. If I wanted to repaint it, so it was looking new as well, it would be 33,800. So a lot of savings. And I just couldn't pass it up. And to recap, now that you're here, Fashion, I don't think this is gonna work for field work. I mean, run over here, and I'll show you. I don't know. Maybe you have tried. So purple, which is the whole field, is the state that says need harvest. Harvested. I mean, this is the harvested state. And then just behind the machine, you see a little bit of plum colored, and that is plowed. But if you look further back where the finishing baskets and the finishing discs have been, it's a cultivated field, which makes me think it won't accept the contracts. Like the contracts won't accept this tool, which is unfortunate, but it's also acceptable. The definite perk, Adrian, is that you need to do fewer passes. But say you're plowing it with this one, and then you want to go and plant with your planter that also does cultivating. It's sort of cake on cake. And if you rock pick, you sort of ruin the surface of the field anyway. You need to cultivate it after. Now again, with the planter, that's fine. Let's see if I can turn without lifting. No. Let's see if I can turn when I lift. So is this a drawbar tool or is it a third point? Like this is a... Yep. This attaches to the trailer hitch, not to the 3-point hitch. But it feels like the angle on this thing, it could truly be on the 3-point hitch. And if it was on the 3-point hitch, it would be quite easy to do a 90-degree turn. 180-degree, I mean. But it still gets around. So on a straight field, this 410 horsepower RX-8 tractor can drive at 23 kilometers an hour. That's not bad for this kind of tool. For me, it's great in the fields I want to do planting. Seeding, I mean. It's great for fields I want to do seeding. And honestly, there's no plow that is wider than this anyway. Except for the Colty plow. But there's no only plow that is wider than this. So it's a fantastic tool, and I'm happy I got it on sale. It's a mod, so there's no guarantees, Adrian. Rather, I can guarantee you that it doesn't. But I can be wrong. Wrong I have been before, wrong I often am. Oops. So let's bring the rock picker. We agreed that the fast track could pull the rock picker, am I right? I don't have articulated tractors now. So my big horsepower tractor is the Fendt 1050. I had an RX-9 and I disliked the articulated tractor because I was pulling the forage wagon, and when it articulates, it shifts the tow hook back and forth. So if you're turning in an articulated tractor, at least the RX-8, the tow hook moves to sides, and that shifts the pickup side to side. So if you're trying to pick up a line, a windrowed SWAT line, and you're driving an articulated tractor, and you sort of adjust yourself left, right, the whole thing shifts left to right, and it makes pickup horrible. At least in my opinion. Again, in my opinion, it makes it very unnice. Yeah, I'm very curious. I test drove on my demo server the RT9 and liked it. So I think either the MT1100 from Fendt or an RT9 would be good on the farm. I don't think I need it for the small tractors. I think the RX-8 has heaps of turning radius. But for big power, yeah, I'd like it. Woo! Too much turning. Exactly. The contract work requires it to leave it in the specified field state. That's my experience as well. Even though you're leaving it in a better condition than they asked for, they don't accept it. Well, yeah, we're gonna try another thing. Let's disconnect. We're also gonna try to roll it and see what happens to the rocks. Now, I don't think rolling it is gonna be enough, but I'm curious. I think so too, Fashion, but I don't have a cultivator. So it's now either the Colty plow or the Ripper from John Deere that I can do to use my seeder. My planter cultivates, so I can just run straight over the fields, but I have the intent of seeding. Oh, what am I gonna seed? What am I gonna seed? Flour. Probably sorghum flour. And sugar beets, but that's the planter. Let's do this instead. Let's look at the seeder and see what it does and try to remember. Yes, we're gonna do sorghum. So I need to prepare fields for that. So then I need the... I need to cultivate the fields. And then I might as well use my new ripper as using the... This is the culti-plow. So it's very similar, except for the fact that it doesn't have the same discs in the front to kill the trash. So these are the tines, way stronger and spring-loaded, instead of the whole tine being a spring. So these are like beefy for rocks and whatever, but it has this spring. So if it runs into something too mighty, it will just fall backwards with the spring action here. Until it clears the obstacle, and then it will fall forward again. And it has some discs in like rolling wheels in the back for finishing. So it's very similar to the ripper we just went over. In that it leaves it cultivated. Oops. Sell the culti-plow? Yeah, honestly, I don't have any use for it, do I? Okay. Oats. Okay, I'll try it. So I don't think... Can chickens eat sorghum? And also I think my AI worker is drunk. Or am I in the way? He's drunk. He's driving the wrong way. I probably should relieve him of his duties and put him back to work. So I swear, sometimes they just go through the fields and do both at the same time. Sometimes they don't. I don't get it. Let's set him up here on the other side of the field and see if he drives straight over and do both at the same time. Because I would like that. I mean, I don't need it. It's fine if he doesn't, but it would be nice. Look at all those rocks. It does. But I don't know why I need it. I don't know why it's better. I guess this is a nicer seed bed, and it actually makes the field look uniform. So with before, when I used the culti-plow, it ended up looking like a hot mess on the charts. This one only needs rolling, right? Yeah. So it's very clean looking. And the culti-plow could leave the soil looking stripy in a way that this one doesn't. But they're the same width. Actually, the culti-plow is wider at 8 meters. It's quite insignificant of a difference. So rolling it doesn't change the rocks at all? Question mark? Because they're red? No. No, it doesn't change it at all. It does get rid of the trash, yeah. It does. So now we've tried that. Let's put this to the side. And hook up the rock picker again and see if that ruins the rolling. So in the field state... In the field state is now rolled. But what happens when I turn this on? Will that remove the roll state? Will I need to re-roll it? No. No, which means I can roll first. Yeah, the plow method didn't affect the rolling, and rock picking didn't affect the rolling. And does it change how it looks? Let's run over where we have rolled. I don't think so. I find it kind of strange that you need rolling in the first place. Like, look at this field. It's so beautiful. So where have I even rolled? Can I see a difference? I don't think so. So now I'm standing on the rolling line. There is the rolling line. Do I see a difference to my left or right? No. He's driving so fast. Like a lunatic. It doesn't make a difference. You don't do any tillage. So you sacrifice the percentages of extra yield, right? That's the only drawback. Like, do you ever need to plow? Do you ever need to roll a field? No, I don't think so. I'm unsure, but I think the only reason... Oh, we need to stop him. Now he's driving where there hasn't been... There we go. Oh yeah, you completed your task, good. Let's go over to... Oh, you can do this part of the field. Or this field, rather. Oh, you missed the rock as well. Also, plowing is something you can't skip on. Oh, so you just think you need to because the result is too grave. The loss is too grave. But you can technically do it. What have you done here? Okay. We'll fix that, no worries. But like, what went through his head? And what are you doing now? Are you fixing that problem? This is interesting. So instead of turning, where is he going? Is he reversing the entire length? Zoom. How satisfying isn't it to see the fast track doing the rock picker? Yellow on yellow. And then this 8RX doing the plowing and the ripper green on green. Where are you going now? Chat, have you ever had this happen to you? Like, what is he doing? This worker will no longer be in my employ. Worker J will get fired. That's for sure. No point in rolling before seating. Cool. I thought that's how it worked. But the rolled state removed from the rolling even before. But it might get back. Maybe that's it. Maybe when I plant, I'll get the rolling need again. So yes, I can roll before, but I will sort of mess the field up again. Oh, I forgot to take it down. Or maybe it was just too slow. Is it lowered? I think it is lowered. And also this, with this tool, since it does it in different level, it's really useful to open up the headlands. Otherwise the AI can't do it all the way. It lifts it up too soon, so it leaves the edge looking all wonky. So am I going to do this fill as well? I think I'm going to be doing cotton here, which means I don't have to go over it. I don't need to use this implement for anything but the flour, and 2 fields of flour is probably going to be plenty. I do get flowers from my neighbors as well, so flowers. I do get flour from my neighbor as well. When they harvest, they give it to me to make flour of. So I don't need to grow that much, but I want to secure my harvest with some oats. But herbicide is so fast. I totally get everyone that decides to do herbicide. I myself would really like a sprayer just for the times where I can't be arsed to do ecological growing with hose and weeders, because it does take more time. Another perk of the Cultiplow is that it's not 20 meters long. So this issue about needing to do the headlands for my AI is not a thing in the Cultiplow. Overall, I'm thinking this tool is not significantly better, although it is better. But it's not significantly better than the Cultiplow. Like this, if I turn, now I mean technically you shouldn't be turning in a field like this, but if you do, that's how you leave it looking. Cultiplow doesn't do that. We've had this. I don't remember when, but I remember it's being fantastic. How are you having? Are you having a good time? Can you take these? Thank you. And thank you. And thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. So yesterday, Ebbe pinched your fingers in the window. Ebbe, you are so cute. Yeah, I love you. Goodbye. Are you dressed in all black, mother? Me too, and Ebbe too. We're literally... No, he just don't want to close the door. I think he don't want to close. He's so cute. So yesterday, Siri was trying to open our windows fully. So our windows don't open side to side. They have a pivoting point in the center. And you fold them out like this. So there is a pin you pull at the side of the window to make it go all the way around. And she wanted to do it so she could look out properly. Or I don't know why she wanted to do it. She was doing it anyway. And as she did, fiddled with the latch at the side of the window, Ebbe decided to close the window, pinching Siri's finger in the window. Imagine a door, and you open the door. It's like pinching on the inside of the door, because you get all that leverage from the window when you open it. So it hurt a lot, and she cried for a few minutes, and she was a little bit upset with herself, probably, and not Ebbe, because he didn't do anything wrong. And then today, he apparently crushed a glass straw in her hand. So we have, for smoothie and for stuff, we have glass straws. And apparently he crushed one of them. I don't know how that happened. So she had like a big band-aid on her finger. So, Siri and Ebbe, they're not having a good time. I think overall they are. I really do think that they're having a good time. But I'm sorry for her pain. Hey, Eva! Yeah, I just told the story about how he pinched your finger yesterday, and now he cut your finger.
So he got a hold of 2 glass straws. After he'd had a knife, banged it against the stove top. I took it away from him, told him not to do that. It's soft. Told him not to do that.
You smell like oregano, no? Hmm?
And then we got a spoon, he did the same thing. And I was like, you cannot do that.
Well, that's the stream deck.
And then he got a hold of 2 straws, banged them against the stove top. And as I reach to take it away from him,
Yep.
he bags it and it shatters in my hand. Slices the left side of the inside of my finger. Lots of it.
Can Daddy get that? No play.
Lots of it.
No play.
So I'm in foul mood.
Did you bump your head? Oh, baby. You wanna sit with Daddy?
So I'm making mini pizzas.
Mmm. Mmm. No, I can end when the food is ready. The food is ready now. Yeah, but we don't get to play. We can play. Let's play for a few minutes, Ebba. You and I. Look at this little thing! Look at this little thing! Yep. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Metal straws are fantastic. We love glass straws, but they have a lot of drawbacks, like cutting yourself. We also got silicone straws from either Kron or Netter. One of them gave us glass straws and one of them gave us silicone straws. So that's they are fantastic. They're actually good. And that's what we give Ebbe nowadays. So when he gets to eat his smoothie, he gets a silicone straw. But now he took them out of the container where they're stored. That just means we have to move them from where they're stored. So he doesn't do that. So you don't do that. You don't want to hurt yourself. That you break the straws, that's okay. We can get more. But you don't want to hurt yourself or mine. No? No hurt. Oops. Oops. Worker A was blocked by an object. So apparently AI can't use this tool. That's another drawback fashion. Look how poorly they're doing the fields. Oh, back to the drawing board it is. Am I sad? No. Would I like to sell it? No. Would I like to go back to before I bought it and not buy it? Yes. But now that I have it, and it is fantastic to use when I am driving, but for AI, it seems to not be very good. We're putting some rock in the trailer. Some rocks in the trailer. Hi, Amathora. We'll leave the wheel loader here, because there will probably be another 2, maybe, trailers worth of stones. Let's see how much is done. Oh, do you want saft? You want saft? Nej. Ja. Ja, saft. Can you drink from the spilly? It went good, Amathora. She just managed to get the service done, and she did an excellent job, and I'm so proud and happy that she did it, and she loved it. She felt very accomplished, and she had a good time. So I am very optimistic for spending time with her in the garage in the future. That she could take on that as a hobby, it makes me so happy. She only had a few accidents. There's some clips in Sarah's stream from it. Hilarious. But when it was time to pick up Ebbe from preschool at 2 o'clock, we had just serviced it, so no digging today. Tomorrow, when Ebbe goes to preschool, tomorrow, she's gonna do digging. Yeah. We're preparing the fields for next planting. Can you guys believe I'm paying this dude to do this? Unacceptable. You and I can do a better job, Ebba. Shall I take it? Do you want to drive? Can you click this? 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. That lowers the plow. Now we drive. That's how you take a screenshot. Do you want to use this? This? That's how you look. Oh, that's how you look. Oh, yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Huh? You see, can you get that something is going on? Do you see what's happening? Oh, I'm getting dizzy. Dizzy, dizzy, dizzy. Do, do, do. Oh, yeah. Good job, Pepe. So I have this philosophy when it comes to raising children that you shouldn't encourage them. They should just enable them to do whatever they want to do. So you don't create an individual that is motivated by your encouragement. But it's so hard not to say that you're proud when he's doing something good. Do you want to go in and eat? Nom nom? Thermometer? How many degrees is it in the studio? 5? 10? 20? It's a remote control. Oops. Complaining at them being bad and doing a poor job, and I'm failing myself. Awesome. Oh, I can't see chat no more. No more chat. Yeah. You ruined it. Yeah, you ruined it. Now we can't see chat. Shall we fix it? Yeah? Shall we fix the TV? It's the top middle button. Can Daddy have? No, that one. Oh, that one turns off the other TV. Okay. I think I'm not gonna see anything any second now. No. I'm not gonna see anything. Nope. Yep. Now we don't see anything. Stream is over. He's turned off all the screens. He took one remote, turned off one TV. Other remote turned off the other TV. And now he's starting Amazon Prime Video. Chat, it's been lovely. I can't see you, but I know you're there in spirit. And we shall fix this. Oh, I need to save and quit. Whoop.
Can I have it? Thank you.
No. Yes. Do you want to watch TV? First, we gotta pick the game. The game was no fun today. He wanted to watch cartoons. Save game. Quit. Do you really not quit? Yes. Quit. Now you can have that remote. Now I don't need it. Yeah? Thank you. And now I need the other remote. Oh, turn it off. I did not intend to do that. And now he's playing with the Stream Deck. Yeah. Wow! It is the most fun ever! Do you want to say hi? Hi? Say hi. Can you say hi? Hello. Oh, you give a kiss? You give the mic a kiss, but not Daddy. You're clicking buttons, I don't know which they are. Did you kill the stream? No, you're trying to start recording. Whew. Hi, Doxpuff. And bye, Doxpuff. Thank you for watching today, everybody. Don't mind Siri. This is the mother of my child. It's all going downhill. Goodbye, chat. Goodbye, chat. See you next time.